I'll tell you right there. This here is a podcast. Hello, welcome to our...
Welcome to Mostly Finished Thoughts. It's me and Alanna and Matty talking about life as musicians on Twitch.
Sometimes in this really lazy southern accent that we both just pulled out of nowhere.
Here, it comes and goes. Since we're both from the southern part of the countries we live in. You're from the southern Canada.
It's actually true. I am technically from southern Canada. Are you from southern Sweden?
Yes, the dirty south of Sweden.
Is it actually?
We are the rednecks. Yeah.
Is it really? Is that true?
That's why I have a pickup truck on my balcony.
Oh, no. Okay. Gotcha. And all the fake geese.
The rest of
the yard.
The rest of the country makes fun of us for our accents down here.
Really?
We have very, this is going to sound weird, but we have thick R's.
I like me a thick R. Okay.
Kraken. Sort of like a Dutch thing.
Yeah,
and I said that during the stream, going, you have the part of my thick R's, and then I realized that it also has the double meaning. Whoops. At least, yeah. Yep.
We have part of the Canadian accent is having like hard R's. So like when people do like a Canadian accent, it's always that like hard, like that's like the best one that I can use as an example. Is
a boot and the
a boot is like it kind of, I don't know, like I don't know anyone who says about like that. It's such a weird stereotype, but it's the R's always that get me, like going out in my car, gonna go hurry up and get some groceries.
I had never thought about that.
It's this like weird like R sound. It's like
the Pirates of the North, as you're known as.
Yeah. It was just a weird segue, but like, do you guys curl in Sweden? Do you guys do curling?
You mean if I lift? Do you even lift, bro?
Do you even curl, bro?
What is curling? Or do you mean like the thing?
The thing with the brooms and the stones. Yeah.
We were super duper good at that as a nation. I think we won, or we've placed for medals in the Olympic Games.
Yeah, Canada's pretty good at it too, but always like it's whenever I'm like thinking of a Canadian accent that I think of like the curling team. I was like, hurry hard.
Have you ever tried curling?
No, I would really like to. Ghost's family used to, before COVID and the before times, they used to like. I know, it's such a weird, and like the thing is, like we
live
know
in a haunted house,
and people know his name now. If you've been listening to the podcast, he's been doxxed.
Yes.
But it still feels weird to like say his name. But his family used to like go and do it every once in a while, and they always wanted us to like come out, and then COVID happened, so that never happened.
Oh, no.
I would like to go and give it a try.
Curling, if you're listening in Canada, get Alanna and Matty to come and curl.
Also, do we need to explain what curling is? I think you can Google it.
I think it's like if you do curling, it's the first thing. Is that a phrase in English as well? Curling parents? We have it in Sweden.
What is that? Curling what?
It's curling parents.
No.
Mothers and fathers who curl away every obstacle for their child.
No, I've never heard that before.
They just run in front of their child and
with the
away
broom.
Everything.
Okay,
yes.
That's an That's kind of a neat phrase.
Förälder in Swedish.
Yeah, we have helicopter parents. Yeah. That's our big one.
They're
always hovering around and making sure that the kids are.
Those were the ones I loved as a substitute teacher.
You were a I didn't know you were a substitute teacher.
Oh, I taught for 2.5 years.
Wow.
I taught every subject from age 4 to 15.
Wow.
It was weird. It was wild.
Yeah.
We had one parent who, so there was a big high rise just looking over the schoolyard. Mm-hmm. And one of the parents would sit there with a pair of binoculars and watch his kid play instead of coming down and getting the kid. That is healthy behavior, I think. If those of you who can't see Alanna right now, it's just an open mouth and eyes. Yeah, it was wild.
There's just
so that was. I would love teaching if it wasn't for the parents.
Yes, I agree. So I've been teaching music for many years. It's been like the one job that I've sustained for the longest amount of time, even though I've like quit and moved to other jobs, to the point where like I don't even really consider it a job anymore. It is a job, but it's not like when I'm listing off the things I'm doing at the moment, teaching music is never something that I'm like, oh yeah, this is like I don't know why. But I've been doing it for a really long time.
At what level?
I teach like most levels. Like my one student is currently the most advanced that I've ever had, and she's doing she does piano exams. Oh. And she's in level 7 now. If the RCM levels, we've talked about this before, but it's just like a grading system in Canada. And she's like, I never did my grade 7 exam, but like I still am able to help her and coach her through because I'm still better at, theory and at the technical aspects, and like, but she's catching up. Cool. she's catching up. Like there's still plenty that I can teach her. Practice. Yeah. Oh, totally. And it happens faster when I teach guitar because I don't know guitar theory as well as I know piano theory, and so they catch up pretty quick. But I was going to say that teaching is great, but the parents are terrible.
But how do you find your students, or how do the students find you? Word of mouth. So
when I first started, I was teaching a friend of the family. I was teaching their daughter's guitar. And then it was actually a really strange situation. So my family used to own a cafe, and I used to work there all the time. And this guy came in at one point, and I used to sell my CDs in front of the cash register whenever I was working. Like just my little EPs. And this guy came in, and like I had a sticky note on them that said, "That's me," with like an arrow. So it's not like some like random person's CD. It was me. And this guy came in. He's like, "Oh, you're a musician?" I'm like, "Yeah." We just like started talking. He's like, "Oh, well, like, do you teach music?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I do teach music." And he's like, "Oh, well, why don't you sign up for like, we have like a music school where it's all in-home lessons, and we'll find you students based on like criteria or whatever." So I worked for them for a couple of years, but they took like a big cut of what I was making. And I had started to pick up other students because, like, I don't know, people like me. So they would recommend me.
Say it out loud. Say it out loud once more.
They like me, gosh darn it.
There you go. I feel like Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting. It's not your fault.
So they would start recommending me to other people. And so I then like had this roster. And eventually I was just like, you know what? I don't need to be with this company anymore. So I stole all of my students, which, you're not supposed to do. But their financing was kind of a mess. Their scheduling was a mess. The communication with the company was a mess. It was so much easier for me to just be like, hey, I'm still going to charge you less than what you're paying now, but I'm going to make more money. Like you're going to pay $10 less, and I'm going to make $10 more per hour. Which was a good deal for them.
That is a good for everyone, I guess.
Yeah. And like, even though when I started working at Ubisoft, I dropped 90% of my students. I just had one family. And even with that one family, I've still then gotten other jobs again and again, like from them. So now I only have 2 families at the moment. I had 3 and I dropped one a couple months ago, for a variety of reasons, but they were more work, I think is the best way to put it.
Yeah. And you also do sessions for your Patreons?
Oh yeah, I also have 2.
Just a quick little plug here for Alanna's
Patreon. I also have 2 or 3 students. One of them's just kind of casual, but I have 2 like regular students that I teach through Patreon, which is kind of a good deal for them because they get all the Patreon stuff plus then they get lessons. So I have a guitar student and a vocal student at the moment through Patreon. So it's I don't know. I like teaching. The Patreon students are the best because their parents are not involved. They're adults.
Most of them are yeah. Or if their parents are involved, it'll be super weird.
Yeah,
My 50-year son is paying.
Yeah, or they are parents, you know, and like,
Yes.
and I've taught parents before as well. Yeah. Like I've taught people of all ages, and it's nice.
I really enjoy teaching as well, and I love when people ask questions on stream about guitar. We had I had a long tirade about guitar today and being quote unquote good on guitar.
Mm-hmm. Why did you put that in quotes? You are good at guitar.
That's what we were talking about. What is good on guitar? And there's always going to be someone who's better. Mm-hmm. And I can nowadays almost play what I want to play. If I get an idea, I could almost go, okay, this is how it's going to sound like. Mm-hmm. But then, I mean, there's always going to be guitarists who are better than you. So I would say I'm quite competent now, which feels better to say than good. But someone was asking, like, how long until I can play guitar? That's an impossible question to pose. And Pine's response was, how long is a rope? Like, how... So,
interesting,
I'm using Swedish because I guess also is a Swedish word, which means like... sometimes when I get very frustrated, I use my Swedish. But when you try to... If you want to know when you can play guitar, I'm just trying to tell you now that, like, focus on a song or, like, a specific set of skills. If you want to play blues lead, focus on that and then do that. It's the same thing as like weightlifting or running. If you go out your door on a dead sprint and then fall down and go, no, running isn't my thing. And no, I don't know. And weightlifting is, as it's called, fuckeronitis, when you just go to the gym and pull things.
Oh my God.
Nope, not this, and not this. Having a program.
Yeah. I think just having a goal, right? And like, I tell people the same thing with guitar. Like, what's your favorite song right now? Cool.
Yeah.
Go learn the chords that are required for that song, and at least you're like,
down for you if you want, or make it more.
And like that way, you have something like solid that you're working towards. Yeah. Are you a quick learner?
No. Or I don't know. No, I think my mom and my wife would object, but I don't think I'm a quick learner.
Yeah.
But I obsess over things, so.
Okay. So even if it's not fast, it's still going to happen.
I put in a lot of work quickly, I would say. Like, if it would take someone an hour to learn it, I would spend, like, the whole day learning it. But I would do it, like, in 2 days.
Good for you. I sometimes I have the attention span for that. Sometimes I do not.
I'm trying to learn... I've been using Skillshare now.
Interesting.
To learn production. Mm-hmm. So I can record better quality clips and send them to you so we can make a better product.
Amazing.
So I can communicate with you more efficiently about what I want.
Yes. That's
scary.
I have a mini tangent on that level, but...
Oh. So, I am. Do I see spice fingers? No. There's more of face palm than spice fingers. Is this 5 spice fingers?
It's 5 spice fingers. Yes. So Instagram keeps targeting me with these ads for various different courses from various different websites to do like music production or recording, or I had one that was like filming. I don't even know what it was supposed to be. But like, I like taking courses and I like learning stuff because I feel like you can always improve, you can always learn and take more information. I find it fascinating to see how other people do stuff. But these people in these ads, they do not inspire any sort of confidence in me whatsoever. Like, this one guy is just like, here's a 1 hour free course where I will teach you what people who make feature films don't even know about audio. And then all of the screens, of the screenshots are like super expensive plugins, like the most expensive plugins. And he's like, we're going to teach you how to like clean up all of your audio production for no charge. And I'm like, literally every single example that you just used in your thing is like super expensive, either software or plugins or like whatever. And so it's just like, first of all, that's like a big claim that like you're gonna teach people things that like not even people who make feature films
Doctors
know.
hate this person. There's one simple trick.
And it's like, why are you having to make money doing this if you're so good that you could be doing feature film like audio work?
Oh yeah.
But like, so it was that one which kind of like got me started on being like, oh my god, this is obscene. And then I saw the video editing one. And my favorite part about the video editing one is that he was like, I'm going to teach you a year's worth of things in 2 weeks. And like, he starts going on about something. But the thing is, I don't really know how much it is or what happens in the course because the video was too long for the ad slot. So it cut off. So this video editor who's going to teach me everything I need to know did not edit his video to fit in the designated ad slot.
That is lesson one. That is what he's going to say.
And it's just like, that's so, like, it's so sloppy. And then, like, the last one was fine. It was just another, like recording, like, audio recording workshop. He didn't make any, like, big claims or anything like that. Like, there was no hype. It was just like, here, we're gonna just like do this. And like that was one that I actually like clicked on and looked at. I'm like, okay, well, like what are you gonna do in this course? Like, I'm not interested in the guy who's like, I'm gonna teach you everything so fast that nobody ever knows.
In 1 hour, you'll go from zero to hero. Yeah. Following these 5 simple tricks, you can perform just like Ed Sheeran.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is exactly how it's gonna work.
Oh no, I totally lied. There were 4, but one of them was not a video, and that was the one that I clicked on. The one that was a video, that was a production one, was like, this is how you write a hit song. Every single hit song on the radio is written like this. I'm going to show you how we produce the hits. And I'm like, who are you?
The trick the professionals don't want you to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, uh-huh.
It's thinking things through.
Yeah. Whereas it was the post.
A goal.
The post that wasn't a video was like, here's a course and we're going to do like these 3 things and we're going to like, I'll show you how to do like this and this. And at the end of the day, you're going to walk away with like X number of songs or whatever. And I was like, interesting. Maybe that's something that I should do. Just as like a, keeping sharp. But like, I don't think I will, just because when I read through what it was like, oh, okay, like a lot of this is very basic.
Because I posted my first petty complaint on your Discord the other week about the Skillshare course I was doing with Ableton, where he was using really expensive VSTs and plugins.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
If you're doing a beginner's course in whatever, use the stock variant of the program. Do not use the deluxe superb suite. No, use whatever every user has instead of going, you just have to spend a few dollars.
So I hosted a pay what you can course in the spring.
Yeah.
And this is one of the reasons why I get so frustrated when I do see stuff like the ads and like your Skillshare issues where it's like, I know for a fact that there are free softwares, there's free plugins, there's free samples, like there's so much for free that is just as good for the beginner level to use. You don't need to pay for all these expensive plugins, and it's just sloppy and lazy for them to not offer that and to not give you that information. Like, it's a very I'm treading a line of almost going into a rant, and I'm gonna try really hard not to. It's just no. I hate gatekeeping, and I hate gatekeeping that's really subtle. And there's so much of that there's so much gatekeeping in so many levels, especially in the arts, especially in film and music and photography and a lot of these like independent arts. But like, gatekeeping comes in so many forms. And for a lot of people who can't afford big fancy software and big fancy plugins, they're going to reach this point where you're like, oh, well, you have to spend, $400 or $500 on this one thing. And then they're just going to be like, well, I guess I can't do it. And they will probably never come back to it again. Yeah. And that makes me freaking crazy. Like, there shouldn't be a pay to play level. There's so much free. And I'm just going to say it right now. If you want free software, if you want to get into audio, Nova EQ compressor, it's amazing. Reverb Solo, one giant dial of reverb that you don't have to worry about.
This is what I'm using.
Yeah, I use it too. I use it for everything.
Yeah.
Reaper is free. It has a free trial, but you can keep on evaluating until you're ready. And then even if you do want to buy it, it's $60, which is I think one of the cheapest of all of the DAWs. Like those are just a couple of like really easy options for you to get started. And like Reaper doesn't need a big fancy computer to run on either. You can run it on basically whatever you want. I could go on and 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 on.
I'm so glad we made a command in my channel for the exclamation point quick, and then it's a guide to your stream guide.
It's exceptionally flattering.
Whenever someone goes, well, you sound amazing. What did you do? I did this. it's Reverb's plugin. It's the secret sauce.
One big freaking dial. I just like
It's a huge. Just like me, it's a huge knob.
Oh man, I know we'll change the subject, but I know we've talked about it before, but just like, you know, I made that video. I did those courses because I want to make the barrier to entry as low as possible. There's no benefit to me to not have other people have the knowledge that I have and have the experiences that we're having. Like there's this just sense of needing to like, it's the thought that if you share your information that your value decreases.
You have to be the key keeper to be
exactly, and that just makes me nuts.
It's sort of when you have a jam with someone and you go, what chord are you playing? And they're trying to hide their fretboard. Have you experienced this?
Oh my god, yes.
I've been to like the old timer jams where what are you playing? And they go, well, this is a progression I made. Or okay, wow.
Sir, did you invent this chord progression? Because I don't think you did, sir.
It's so weird when people try to,
Anyway, rant over.
Yes. But it's good. It's good to be passionate about things. It's
the one thing that I continue to be stuck on. And
have you done any more TikTok things? Since I am an old man, I have yet to install the TikTok.
I did.
Week we were talking about you.
Yes. That video has continued to perform pretty well. It's still my best video I've ever put out. So I put out another theory video just to see what would happen. And it did okay. Not anywhere near what the first one did, but it wasn't as cool as the first one. There was a trick that I knew more people would be aware of, so I wasn't expecting it to be like amazing. I don't know. I'm gonna keep going on it. I'm very lazy with TikTok. I find that it's weirdly the one platform where I'm like, I need to have an idea and this needs to be good.
Where it's supposed to be the opposite? Where it's just recording everything.
Yeah, it's supposed to just be like a quick whatever, but like what I watch is so much like people think about it and it's funny and it's planned and I'm like, I want to be funny. I wanted to take a second today. To say thank you to everyone who has listened to the podcast and who has said to us that they've really enjoyed it because, oh my gosh.
It's mind-boggling. Yeah.
It means so much.
Yeah, it was a huge outpour of love yesterday. It was a lot of fun. And just people enjoying the podcast and having comments about it as well. Which is incredible that people have actually listened to it and not just like the first 2 seconds going, yep, they're talking about things. Yep.
Yeah. And I think that's really cool. I think it's neat that we'll get to like share our dumb jokes and stuff with people.
And this is such a, as always, mind-blowing experience. Just, I get to talk to you. You're in Canada.
You're in Sweden.
And we're talking and we have like our own communities and and things are awesome.
Yes, things are awesome. So I just wanted to take a quick moment to say thank you to the people that have been listening all this time. And that I wanted to also address that it has been requested that we do a video or a live version of this.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I know we both have, we're pretty aligned on this particular thing. I don't know. Do you want to talk about why we do it the way we do it?
So we can talk about everything we want without having to worry about someone going, what? And it's also very nice to be able to focus on Alanna and just the conversation instead of trying to read chat and being funny and trying to be entertaining. Just being able to talk with Alanna and keeping it what it is. But I guess down the road we could do like a live podcast. But as of now, I would much just prefer this, being able to talk and not being stressed about, oh, we have to go live now. People are waiting. How long do we have in talking points? This is just wonderful. It's just, I just made tea and sat down and talked with Alanna. So it's...
Yeah, it's easy. And it's also nice to like, I think you nailed it right on the head. But I think like we mentioned briefly before about having like not necessarily wanting to stream while we're doing live shows because it feels like we're giving our like 50% of ourselves to both. And I feel like if we streamed while we podcasted, it would be the same thing. We're only giving 50% to the conversation with us and then 50% to the chat. And that's not fair to anybody.
Speaking of that, I have a friend. I met an IRL friend the other week. And I'm not going to out this person's name. But if you're listening, know that next time you pick up your cell phone and browse through whatever you're browsing whilst we're talking, I will bring a newspaper and I will open that newspaper in front of my face the next time you look on your phone. It is so weird when you're having a conversation with someone and you're walking and they're looking at their phone and they're not even acknowledging what you're saying. What was that?
I don't like. What's the point? What's the
Elfving.
point? I totally agree with you. I don't even think that's an old man sentiment.
I'm starving for social interaction now after being isolated. So when I meet people, I'm like, almost like one of those weird people. You go, talk to me. I will listen to everyone.
Like I agree. And like I hate it. I always feel like I'm like, am I boring? Are you not having fun? We had a friend that used to come over and he's not as bad at it anymore. I'm also not going to out them, but I doubt that he listens. But he used to, like, this was many years ago. He'd like come over, or even worse, he would invite us over and then sit on his phone for like most of the time. And like, he'd be in and out of the conversations, but it's like, I don't want to be here if you're just going to be on your phone the whole time. It's
so weird. And how do you keep a conversation? Because if you're talking to someone, you can sort of sense how the energy is flowing back and forth. But if someone's sitting with their phone, you go, okay, are we not talking anymore? Me and my brother have that deal. Whenever we're hungry, when we're at a restaurant, like we've ordered and both are super hungry, one of us will say, right, it's phone time. And then we will just stop talking and pick up our phones because we're both like hangry and cranky. So no more conversation until we've had food.
Yeah, I fully agree. We had we have some really good friends of ours, and we went away with them last summer. So I'm putting my phone on silent because it just made a noise. Should I check my phone right now while we're?
Yeah, please do. Just browse Twitter, going.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. Huh? Yes.
We went away with some friends last summer, and we were with them for like 4 days. And we would just reach a point where we just all were lazing on the couch, and we would just pull up our blankets, and we would all just like putter around or sit on our phones. But it was like an understanding that was what was happening, and that if someone started a conversation, your phone went away. Like it was just an immediate like, okay, nope, my phone's gone. Like that's it.
Because a friend started dating a girl who was a lot younger than he was, and she was still in high school, or I think she just graduated. But they were actually having like classes on how to talk with other people because they were so used to being on their phones and doing I don't know what. So they're neglected on how like to look someone in the eye when you're talking. So they had like once a month they had classes on how to speak with other people.
Wow.
Which I think is beneficial.
Yeah.
Like,
I think,
I mean, I use my phone a lot, but I've been alive longer than phones.
Same.
But if you've grown up with phones and it's just always there.
Yeah.
Wild.
I've started just calling people out on it. Like, literally the easiest way to do it, like if someone's on their phone, is you just go, what you up to?
Yeah.
Because they're going to immediately feel freaking bad that they were scrolling Twitter Or they'll have a legit thing like, oh, my mom just texted me, or oh, like I just got a message, I just have to respond to it really quickly. And then they'll have like they take a hint. You don't have to be like, put away your fucking phone. Like you can just say like, what you up to? Because they will immediately feel bad. Or I just stop talking. If I'm talking and someone starts looking at their phone, I just stop talking. And I wait. And I'm like, you'll figure it out.
Yep. Have I told you, Phil and I were watching, I think, Parks and Rec for like the 19th time.
Oh, love that show. Yep.
Yeah, and we have it on like people in the age of yore used to have a radio on where it's just like noise. And I was on my phone. And then Phil was under a blanket. And then suddenly her toes emerged and grabbed the top of my toes and then sucked it in under the blanket. She went, I would very much like for us to talk now. That is also a great way, of course.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, I haven't laughed that much in a long while like I did when she did that.
Yeah, that's very funny. Yeah, we're like...
Don't do that to people you don't know. If you remove your shoes and your socks, if someone's on the bus and you retrieve their phone with your toes, no, I don't think that will end well.
No.
It could be like an icebreaker.
I mean,
or an
it would be very strange. Have you?
Yeah.
What's like public transit like where you are?
It's good. We don't have trams. We have buses, and then there's trains going all over Sweden. And I think that's like there's trams in Gothenburg, which is the second largest city, and in Stockholm there's subway, and where I live there's just buses.
Nice.
Which is good though, and train commuter trains, like they go to the smaller towns.
Yeah.
I wish there were trams here, but
we have them. Awesome. I mean, we call them streetcars, which is really a dumb name when you think about it. It's a streetcar as opposed to those like air cars or water cars. Or
I guess they were named where they thought of a brighter future.
I guess, yeah.
Soon,
because trolley makes more sense. And I think they're still called trolleys in San Francisco.
Yes, sure. I think so as well.
But yeah, we've got streetcars, and they're great. I actually like. Some people get very mad about streetcars, but streetcars are faster than buses. At least here,
aren't they quite eco-friendly as well?
Yeah.
Or I mean, there's got to be work made before, but
once they're put in, they can hold more people. They are more efficient, and like we have sections of our city actually now that are like streetcar only. So there's like one section, King Street in Toronto, is like a lot of restaurants and clubs, but there's also a ton of like condos. And it takes you to like the business district kind of along that way. And they've closed it to cars. So you can't drive through an intersection. So you can turn onto King, but you cannot go straight through an intersection. When you hit the next corner, you have to turn off. And there's like cameras and cops all the time, like watching for people to do that. And it's been really cool because now they've built like patios all the way out to the streetcar tracks. People bike along there. The streetcars are super, super fast. Like people were mad at first because like, oh, I can't drive along King anymore. But it's like,
how will I ever go? Yeah.
But there's so many alternatives that they don't need to go along that way. And it just made transit so much more efficient, so much smoother. And so now they're also looking at doing that on like other streets as well.
They lowered the speed limit in this town. Mm-hmm. I think it first was 50 kilometers per hour in some places, like a general.
Yeah.
And now it's dropped down to 40 and now 30 kilometers per hour.
That's pretty slow.
I don't know how much that is in miles per hour. Not that fast,
I have no idea. I can't do miles per hour at all.
We're
a metric podcast. Okay.
So 6 miles is 10 kilometers. So it would be 18 miles per hour. There we go. Maths. Alanna is now has a very vacant look on her face. I know that 6 miles is a 10 kilometer. Like a 10K
so you
run
said
is
6 times 3 is 8. Yeah. It's just because 18 in my head is so slow. like driving 18 kilometers an hour.
That's just exactly what people are saying here.
Slow.
That is also what people are feeling here. And as a person who doesn't own a car, I'm like, yeah, I don't care.
No.
It's good.
Yeah.
Don't drive in town.
Mm-hmm. Like,
if at all possible.
I own a car, and I used to have to drive downtown all the time for my job, and there are faster routes. There are better ways to go. It never impeded me. It was never something that was a problem. And so, to you whiny babies who complained about it, figure your shit out.
I fully understand, like, when people have kids and they go grocery shopping and they do the whole thing with one car. Mm-hmm. And I go, but can't you just take a bus? I can see their nuisance, but
yeah. I don't know. I feel like we haven't really had much of an opportunity because we used to live quite downtown, and now we no longer do. We live like very close, but just enough outside of it that's like it's quieter. But because we moved during COVID, we keep being like, oh yeah, well, when we go to bars and stuff, we'll probably take transit because it just makes more sense, even though we have a car, but we haven't gotten to test that theory out yet.
But are they opening up for real now in Canada?
Yeah. The indoor dining opened, I think, on Friday, so we can actually eat inside now at a limited capacity, but still pretty good, pretty cool.
It was super weird in Sweden because we've had so weird regulations. We haven't had like strict regulations. Mm-hmm. But I think it was after Christmas, our second wave, they went, bars can no longer be open until later than 8. You can still get shit-faced, but only until 8 o'clock. Then you should be responsible and only hang out with people from your own bubble, which meant that the bars closed at 8. People then went to stores and bought beer and then hung out at other people's houses. Thusly, it was like the weirdest thing ever.
Very strange. I don't like. I'm trying to find the logic in that, and I can't. I can see. I can't really find it.
Because I've been isolating most of COVID, even though we haven't been supposed to. I've just, like, for good measure, I've been thinking perhaps I shouldn't be out and about. Mm-hmm. Especially since I now have this dope new job. Mm-hmm. Don't really want to get sick.
Yeah.
And I was out at the bar here with a friend, and they went, "We're closing now. It's 8 p.m. Yeah. What?
What is happening?
And it's weird seeing people how they change their strategy in drinking beer. Mm-hmm. Like the regulars, how they usually, it's 8 o'clock. Let's order, because you can order until like 5 to 8, and then 8:30 had to be out of the restaurant.
Yeah.
So people just order 4 beers, and then I'll just slam these, and I'll have a great evening.
Oh my god. Yeah, isn't it cheaper to not drink at a beer though? Like, wouldn't it be cheaper to go to the store and buy a beer?
Yes, but we also have the alcohol monopoly in Sweden, so you can't buy strong beer. In the convenience stores. We have Systembolaget, which is the only place we can buy alcohol in Sweden, except for bars.
We are the same way. We have...
have we talked about this before?
I don't think so.
We've talked about so many things now.
We've talked about so many things. I don't think we've talked about this before. So Ontario, so like my province, my like region in Canada, also has it's not a monopoly. I guess it's a monopoly. I don't know. But we have the LCBO, which is the Liquor Control Board of Ontario, which is just the store that you go to buy alcohol. It's just where the alcohol is. So it's not available in convenience stores. Yeah. Yes, this is where the alcohol lives. But we also have a store aptly named The Beer Store.
Oh, that's where the beer lives.
Which sells beer. Shocking. Yeah. But it's like bulk, so like it's not like most of them aren't like stores where you like go in and like take bottles down. It's like you go up to like a counter and you're like, I would like a 2-4 of
pallets,
whatever, and then you get your 24 beers and you take them out. Some of them have stores, but it was the LCBO. But a couple years ago, so it's still very recent, like I want to say like 3 years ago, select grocery stores now also sell alcohol or sell. They don't sell alcohol; they sell wine and beer and cider, but they don't sell like spirits. So it's slowly lifting.
the opening hours for the LCB?
Yeah.
Or
it's
how often?
It's just like a normal store. Like it's usually open from like 11 till 7 or something like that. Sometimes they'll stay open till like 9. But
11 until I think 10 to 7 is here on weekdays.
Yeah.
Saturdays 10 to 3, and then Sundays it's closed.
That's a nightmare.
Yeah.
What's like you said there's like a strong beer. What is class? So what can be sold there in convenience stores?
You can have up to 3.5% alcohol content is fine to sell in regular stores.
3.5.
Yeah, and everything above that is sold at Systembolaget.
Is that low in Sweden? Because for us, that feels low. 3.5. Yeah,
it is somewhat low. Yeah. It's called It's called Folköl, which means the people's beer.
Ah, okay.
Which is wonderful.
You
can get smashed on those either ways.
I mean, here we call anything less than 5% like a waste of calories.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's just a Toronto thing, but it's like if you crack open a beer and it's 3.5%, it's like, what's the point, man?
It's also called nödraket, which means emergency flare.
Okay.
So when there's nothing left, abandon all hope, open a 3.5 beer.
That's funny. Yeah. What's your...
We had
Go for it.
The Systembolaget comes from a very troubled Swedish past with alcohol, where Swedes were killing themselves drinking. And people were like... people getting their pay in moonshine.
Wow.
And then someone went, someone has to do something about this. So they tried just different systems. Mm-hmm. That's why it's called Systembolaget. It's a system. So we're using the Gothenburgian system now, where you had where they had rations of alcohol. You could use a book, and then you could go, I have only had 1 bottle of vodka this month. I would like a second one. And then our whole nation went that way.
Yeah.
And then just like... If I go 30 minutes from my house, I'm in Denmark, where you can buy anything, anytime, which a lot of Swedes do now. So there's caravans going down to Germany to buy beer. Taxation is huge in Sweden as well on alcohol.
Is it? Did it make a difference? Expensive. I mean, I imagine it must have made some sort of difference.
I think we pay for our own Medicare, which is good, I guess. And I'm all for like having a heavy taxation of that.
Yeah, me too.
But it's weird especially when you go abroad. Yeah. Like a beer is $1, and in Sweden, a beer, it's weird.
How much is like if you go to, so if we try to be similar, so if we say like you go to like teach me the word for the
Systembolaget.
Systembolaget, like that?
Yes.
Close?
Yes, Systembolaget.
Bolaget.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm trying.
Nice.
If you go there and you buy a beer that's like 5% in a can, how much is it?
$2 or $3.
Okay. I have no idea what the conversion rate is between our... I don't think I know what your currency is.
I'm thinking American dollarinos as well.
Oh, okay.
Should I try to do
I want to
20 Swedish crowns to Canadian dollars would be so 25 Swedish crowns is 360 CAD.
Okay, that's pretty much what it is for us here. It's like if you get a bottle of if you get a can of beer.
Can of beer.
Yeah, it's like somewhere like $3 to $4 a can.
Cool.
Depending on how fancy you are.
And at a restaurant, same.
At restaurants, it's like twice.
Yeah.
So, like, if you get like a pint of beer at a restaurant,
here it goes up to like 3 or 4 times that number.
Yeah, same here. It gets very expensive very quickly, which has been one of the nice things about staying home more often is that we'll buy cans of beer and not have to pay the like crazy markups at bars and stuff, saving so much money on that.
Being at a bar, just going, I would like one more beer before I leave.
And nachos and snacks. Yeah. And then you want to pick up something on the way home. And it's like, yeah.
And there you go.
Don't drink, kids.
I recently got into, or last year, I got into whiskeys more. Mm-hmm. And Phil bought me a bottle of Glenmorangie as a partner thing. And I'm still drinking that. That was in May. But I'm having a little two-finger whiskey every now and then. It's wonderful.
Yeah, that's
just to like celebrate a good day. Going, yes.
I'm a gin girl myself.
Oh, gin and
soda.
Juice. Soda.
Yep.
Like soda.
Water.
Okay, soda water. Okay, I thought you were like Coca-Cola soda, like a soda pop.
Nope, soda water. Usually with I'll put like cucumber or lime or lemon in it. And that's it. I was doing...
Gin is amazing.
Yeah. I was doing gin and tonic for a while, but it was too sweet. So I started doing...
Gin and tonic is too sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I have a very weird thing gin? With sugar. I don't know. Pardon?
What's your favorite gin? Do you have a preference?
I do. Except that
I just want to preface this with saying I don't know much about gin. I know about 4 brands, so I'm just hoping it's one that I can go, I know that brand.
I probably not.
I sound like the dude that you like gin. Tell me about your favorite gin and where it's made.
Yeah, you don't know anything about it.
Gatekeeping the gin.
Oh, dang it! Bringing it back around. There's a lot of Ontario gin distillers actually that I really enjoy, cool. which is nice. But there is one. I think it's called Empress Gin, and it's purple. Just naturally purple. And it's very, very good.
The content of the bottle?
Mm-hmm. The liquid, the gin itself is purple.
Cool.
Yeah. I like that one a lot. It's very floral and I don't know. It's good. I like gin a lot.
Nice. I like Bombay Sapphire.
Yep. That's a good standard.
That used to be my, Yeah.
That's usually the one that we'll
and or just drink straight on ice.
Yeah, if we have people coming over and we're like, we're going to need to make gin drinks, Bombay is always an easy choice.
I need to buy gin.
Yeah. There's a distiller in a place called Prince Edward County in Ontario, and they make this amazing elderflower gin, and it is... So
that sounds real good.
Good. It is so good. But we always, whenever we go out that way, we always go and pick it up. It's super cute actually, because they just have a farm, and they're one of the reasons why I would like to live on a farm, because they've clearly just bought this, make whatever. They've clearly bought this property, and they've got a huge barn in the back. They've got this beautiful their house where they live, and then all of the alcohol brewing and stuff, and they've got a patio, so if you want to sit and have a drink, you can do that, and there's just chickens running around everywhere. It's very wholesome. Wow. It's a very wonderful
that
experience.
Sounds marvelous.
Yeah.
How do you make gin? Sorry, this should not probably be part of the podcast. This is a kilisa, which means boy guessing, where it's just men making more or less guessing at, I think you make gin like this. I was just curious what differences between that and vodka.
So I don't really know.
No, let's leave the topic. Let's do us all a favor.
Okay. Yeah. I had a kit one time that to make gin, it was a gin making kit, and it was take vodka, put it in this bottle.
Because that's what I'm thinking as well.
Yeah, with these flowers and these berries and these aromatics or whatever, and then you just left it to sit for ages, and then that was what gin was.
So it could just be scented spirits.
Something like that.
Juniper berries.
But the weirdest part is that vodka gives me a headache.
Oh.
I do not drink vodka because 9 times out of 10 it will give me a headache. Wow. So I don't know how to explain that. Is it psychosomatic? Maybe. We're not going to write it off.
Is it that you're hungover, Alanna?
No.
It gives me such a weird headache.
It gives me a headache immediately. As soon as I start drinking it. It's
so not the day after. It's when you drink it.
No. It's right away. And it's I've had it ruin my days before, like being like, oh, I'm going to go out for some drinks with some friends, and then I'll get something that's got vodka in it, and it's like,
yes, I'm going to enjoy this evening, and then, oh, headache, fun.
Yeah.
Funsies.
Oh, great. I guess I'm just going to be miserable for the next however long until I can go home without seeming rude.
Oh, my brother bought Jura whiskey, which was incredible.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
We sat on his balcony, and we had to sample a little bit of the bottle. And then apparently we'd sample the whole bottle.
Oops.
Well, as we said, if you sample the top, you have to sample the bottom to make sure it's good all the way. Mm-hmm. And then now we know. I can wholeheartedly say that the whole bottle was very bueno.
Good job.
Thank you.
We're going to segue. This isn't even a segue. It's literally just a left turn.
Yeah.
So last week we talked a lot about Twitch.
Yes.
For the first time, we stayed on a topic for like basically the whole podcast. You are no longer
front page
on the front page.
No, I'm no longer.
How do you feel? How
the mighty have fallen.
If you were to do like do you know what a post-mortem is?
I miss front page. Whatever I said last week, I don't mean it. Front page, come back. Everything is forgiven. I can be there forever and ever, and I love you forever and ever. No, it's fine. It's weird. I enjoy both. But Comparison Beast has been frantically knocking on my door, going, "Sir, I have some critique to give you." And then I'll go, "Comparison Beast, you've changed your voice, but I still know it's you, even though you changed your accent."
He upgraded because of the front page. Yeah. She's like, I gotta be classy now.
Yeah, he has a monocle now, little top hat, no pants, but that's... it's weird. He's been really weird. And I've been feeling, I was saying that before we started recording that, I was thinking about like canceling or deleting my Twitch account and going down to the grocery store and going, "Hello, can I work here? Am I allowed here instead? I shouldn't be around people." Or, yeah, I mean, playing music, that's been fun. Whereas the other part of my brain is super duper happy, looking forward to all the things that's happening, all the things that I got planned. I'm looking into making a mobile rig now and trying to figure out how one would do like IRL streams in a good way with music. And I have a lot of projects, so that's fun. But I was also super duper fatigued during the weekend. I felt exactly like a wrought out dish rug. There's no moisture left. I have nothing more to give. Mm-hmm. And I slept for like all of Saturday.
Wow.
Because Friday was the last, Thursday was the last front page, and then Friday was just a normal stream, or just a normal stream, but so it was quite the dip in brain. Yeah, I'm still not fully recharged.
As he just fades off into the middle distance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa, my brain also just, wherever your brain just went, my brain was like, I'm gonna come get you.
What is he doing? I'll save you.
I had a question, and it disappeared.
Was it?
I think I was just gonna talk about so the way that these podcasts work, I'm editing like podcasts like 2 behind where we're at. And so I didn't just edit the one about the Twitch stuff. I edited one from before. But in that podcast, we talked about energy that you get from chat and that you get from the community. And do you think that, because we also talked about, the front page taking a lot of energy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it also gives you a lot of energy. And like, do you think that that's kind of why you're feeling like this like fatigue is just because you kind of got used to that change in energy?
Yeah, I guess as well. I just think that I was working at a negative on my net negative of like how much energy I have. And because I was talking to my mother on Friday about this. On one of my many mother talks, but it's such a weird thing, and how you're not prepared your brain for like having this amount of people, and people DMing you going, "It's happening, you're blowing up, it's happening, Theo," and then you knowing that no, when this is over, things will go back to normal. which is also draining.
Yeah.
But it's fine. And we've doubled our viewership. I think we have like 170 average, which is ridiculous.
I would hope so. I would hope that would have that kind of an impact.
So super happy about the streams now. We've had like doubled our viewership.
Yeah. That's incredible.
And
Congratulations.
There's so many new Thank you. There's so many new community members that are awesome, which is super cool. As I said last time, it's not about the viewer numbers. It's about having people who enjoy what you're doing. Yeah,
that are continuing to come back. Would you have advice for people
if this was to happen to anyone else?
Yeah, or like if this was so answer that, and then I have a follow-up question.
Yeah. If I have any advice, if you would read on front page, I don't know. It's also impossible to prepare for. Be kind to yourself. Make sure that you have a lot of snacks at home. Make sure that you rest and just be honest with yourself. Because I don't know what I would have done differently. I think I should have had more like overlays. Or like more, please subscribe to me on YouTube. Like making an automatic message.
Right, yeah.
Doing more things like that. But other than that, just be yourself. And enjoy it. It was amazing.
My follow-up question would be like, so when we get these emails or get these invitations to kind of do the front page stuff, it's usually prefaced with this, like, this is an experiment to whatever.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's something that is sustainable, or that I'm trying to figure out in my brain. It makes sense to me to, alternate having different people on the front page, because it would be kind of impossible for Twitch to have someone have your experience without it being misconstrued, I guess, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like if they just had like a select number of people that were allowed to do that. But do you think that if they did do something like that, do you think it's worth it? Like, do you think that it is something that is now necessary for that kind of growth?
I don't know. I think it was I think it's very good that they put musicians on front page overall. That they opened up, because I think that was the main goal of the mission, was to like promote the music section. Because I had so many people coming in going, "What? Is there music? Are you the only music streamer?" No. I might be your dollar store Billy Cyrus, but I am not the only. I am not the only streamer.
Yeah.
So I think that was like we talked about this last time as well. There's very little transparency from Twitch about what they want.
Yeah.
So it's impossible to know if this was a success for them, or if I was just where they went, oh well, he fizzled out, or if it's huge success, he had more things happening than expected. For me, I would say it's just a success. I'm very happy about being invited to it, and I would 10 out of 10 do something like it again.
Yeah.
Even though I'm super duper tired, sort of. I'm also just buzzing and super duper grateful and out of my mind happy that I got that opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it also feels like inflated numbers. The same thing as being view botted or follow botted in a sense, which is like, it feels weird to say, but because we were pushing for 7,000 the same week I was on front page for the first time, and now we're just a hair shy of 10,000,
which is amazing. Yeah.
In July last year, for 2nd of July last year, I had 1,000 followers, which is just mind-boggling. So, yeah.
And I want to say that, like, it's not. I know what you mean by that. It like feels very similar to being follow botted. It feels inflated, but
for those of you who don't know what follow botting is, should we just make it quick?
Yeah.
Follow is when someone with too much time
and money.
Tries to either help or destroy you by giving you false follows. So they enlist bots that inflate your numbers. That's why you can see sometimes streamers that had a lot of followers, not a lot of viewers, or not in a dead chat. That might be because of follow button. Anywho, PSA over.
So the difference, I guess, would be
there's a chance that they're recurring viewers. They will come back at one point.
Absolutely, and that you deserve it. I don't like using the word deserve, but it keeps being the one that just comes to mind first.
I understand what you're saying. It's like when you're saying congratulations to someone, it's not congratulations because it's not your birthday. You made this.
Well, exactly. You did. Yeah. You did get them because you worked hard to get there, and that, it was escalated, and your viewer numbers were probably bubbled and whatever, but those people did take the time to follow you and to come and participate, and that you are good. You are very good. And so you deserve those people that have come to support you. And I know the Compare Beast is coming and attacking you for all this and that. I think that's inevitable no matter what.
I think that's also a good thing. I was telling Fal that as well. If there was no Comparison Beast, she would have to tie me down so my ego wouldn't blow me away from it's so, And I met some friends, IRL friends, who were like, so how's the internet thing you're doing? Well, I'm doing mighty fine this week.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about next week. But
yeah. Well, you never really know, right?
No, that is also, it made me very, very aware of streamer life in a way I haven't been before. Mm-hmm. That's very volatile and it could change at a flip, twist of a hat. That's not the expression.
I like phrase? It though. I don't know.
Tip of a hat. What's the drop of a hat? There you
go. I liked flip of a hat. I thought that was very...
When you wear the hat upside down?
Yeah.
Flip of a hat.
Flip of a hat. You never know when the hat's going to flip. And then everything will be different.
Yeah.
No, I think you killed it. You did such a good job, and you represented the music category so well, and being that face of it, dollar store Billy Ray Cyrus or not. We're lucky to have you representing us.
Did we say that on the last podcast? I can't remember if that happened afterwards, where I got a new comment.
I think we did talk about it. Yeah.
Or the wish.
What, the wish?
So, someone said, you look like someone tried buying Ron Jeremy from Wish.
Oh, yeah.
Which is also... If you do not know who Ron Jeremy is, do not Google that name.
Okay.
Don't Google Ron Jeremy.
You know how many people are going to Google that now?
Yes, but also don't do it. Because this was happening during stream as well, where I said, do not Google that because it's, he's an adult performer.
Ah, that's why.
Yes.
So now even more people are going to Google it.
Going to, yes. So this is what Theo would look like if he was an adult. Yes. If he was an adult.
If he was an adult. End comment. I don't know. I don't have a segue from there. I can't flip my hat, but I'm glad that you did it. I'm glad that it was really good for you. And I'm glad that you're kind of glad that you're not there anymore, because I feel like you were going to kind of lose your mind slowly. You were actively losing your mind. But I hope you get to do it again in the future.
Also, because we talked about this last week, and the day after we talked, I had the highest peak.
Yeah. Crazy.
Which was super weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, because I talked about that last week, that I wanted to play my new original song, and I've done. So, which was incredibly nerve-wracking, but also a lot of fun.
But everyone loved it, of course.
Yeah, there was a hype train during the most sad song I have written, which was super cool. So.
That is very cool. I look forward to being able to work on it and do some cool things with it.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be good. My song has come out as well. Oh,
yes.
sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I just manifested into what are you doing?
Nothing. I had something on my nose. My nose is itchy, so I used my microphone to itch my nose.
There's nothing better than a Shure puff guard to
just get stuff off your nose.
I manifested on stream that I'm going to release the thing before my birthday.
Nice.
So I put it out into the universe and hold me accountable.
There you go. The internet has it now.
You little dreamer, you.
That's me.
You had it was a huge success for the release.
It's another one of those things where, yes, it is good, and yes, I am grateful, and I'm very happy. It's definitely better than it would have been, a year ago. But the situation surrounding releasing this song was very, very different than any other song that I've released, and so the expectations and the stress and all of that was very, very different to anything else. And nothing really happened.
Oh yeah.
I guess is the reason why I hesitate. Like, okay, let's put it this way. If I had just released this song by myself and it did as well as it is doing right now, I would be over the freaking moon. No question. I'd be so happy and so pleased with how everything had gone and is going, and so happy with the response. I'm still very happy with the response, but it's more that like it had built up extra layers because I'm working with a management company, because they had expectations. And so now I'm not only trying to manage my expectations and the expectations of, the people who are listening to my music, but also wondering if like, oh, okay, so I don't know if I've done good enough. I don't know if I've done enough. We didn't get write-ups and stuff in blogs, which was kind of what this management company was supposed to be doing. So I don't know if that's my fault because I didn't do it enough, if the song's not good enough, or if it's their fault, or if it's nobody's fault. But it's just, you know what I mean? So it's like there's a lot of behind the scenes that it's like, yes, the song came out. It's almost at 3,000 streams within the first few days, which is like really amazing. But
it could have been 4,000.
Well, but it's less even about the numbers and more about like response and people picking it up, and it wasn't put on a Spotify playlist, even though we submitted like super, super early, which is fine. It's super rare to get put on a playlist. But there's just, layers. There's layers and there's expectations that have to be managed. And so like, am I happy with the song? 100%. I really love the song. I love it a lot. I really like the production on it. Like the whole thing. I'm very proud to stand behind it. And I'm really proud of how well it's done. But I'd be more proud if there wasn't all this other shit attached to it,
Have you heard anything from the management people?
No, I heard nothing. So I had to contact them on Monday to be like, hey, can we chat? Like, I need to know if I did something wrong. I need to know if everything is happening as planned and this is all great. And like, I just want to know where their heads are at with everything.
No reply?
No, we're going to chat tomorrow. So like it's happening and it's going to be fine. It's just a case of like, having to now figure out everything else. I don't know. So it's good and bad, but I think like I love the way that you put it when you asked me like how I was feeling about it like the day after, and I was like, oh, pretty melancholy, and you're like, oh yeah, you've gone postpartum. And it is kind of what it feels like. It's this like really big buildup, and then you like birth this song and you put it into the world, and
now it's waddling away, and
and you just hope that like people take care of it and enjoy it, and that's all that you can do, and so it's fine.
But I guess the most important thing is that you are pleased with the song and you're happy about the song.
Yeah, and I am.
Then when it all quiets down, a month from now, to a half year, when you look back at this, And you listen to the dream and you go, wow, I put this out in the world.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
But I can fully understand that it's sort of stressful now. And
yeah, it's definitely stressful right now. But I mean, it's not actively stressful. I think there's a lot of what ifs in my head.
Stress.
Yes, it is back burner stress. It's this
like
very
a slow cooking thing.
Yeah. It's this like
set it and forget it. And it just does its own thing.
It just festers and then eventually gets infected and like takes over your body. Yeah. Delicious. Yeah, I don't know. It's
farm to table anxiety. No middleman. It's all brought from me.
Just straight there.
Yeah. Scooping it up for you to indulge in.
Taste the freshness. Feel the energy. Hate your
Feel
life.
the fatigue.
Yeah. That's it. That's the name of the podcast. Farm to table anxiety.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a note. I'm writing it down with my pencil.
She's making a list. She's taking it twice. We're gonna find out. This is, by the way, how my voice sounds without reverb. That's the secret sauce.
Secret sauce. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm excited to work on your song. I'm excited for that song to come out.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other people that I know are releasing songs in the near future, and I'm very excited for them. And that is something that I have to remember, is that like I should be as excited for myself as I am for these people. Because it's not like if their songs don't do as well as like I think they are.
About yourself.
Yeah, I would never look badly at them and be like, oh, well, you didn't get on a Spotify playlist, so you must be trash. And it's like, I would never think that.
Yeah.
Like, I would be so stoked for them just to release it in the first place. And I need to extend that same courtesy to myself, I think.
Oh, yes. That is very important. Yeah. Hold yourself to the standards that you hold others. Would be, I think, a good thing to do. I'm also working very hard on that.
It's not easy.
No. I'm looking more at songs like tools now. Instead of trying to find like the universal tool. Okay. Which would be the hit song. Yeah. I guess. You can just
the secret sauce for your farm to table anxiety.
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to find like having a healthy relationship to songs and going, it's fine if they're not. If not everyone loves the song and go, oh, this is the best thing that's ever been written. It's fine if someone goes, okay, so that's how it feels cool.
Yeah.
Which has made me a lot more. I made a super duper weird ass pop song yesterday. It was cool.
Cool. I like
using
that.
My favorite instrument in Ableton, the marimba. It's instant happiness for me. Marimba is just joy. Where I go, bling, bling, boom, boom.
I like it too. I
overuse it in everything I do by myself. It's always marimba. But it's lacking something, a little pizzazz.
Marimba. Yeah, marimba is the answer. Always.
I think that what's his name? The dude. That is impossible for you to know. Fire Kigo, the guy who made all those pop songs, like EDM. We can just edit this out.
Nope. Nope.
But he had a very specific sound in all of his songs, like a marimba, a bouncy sound that I really enjoyed.
Did we talk about this last week about bands having specific sounds on purpose?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Perhaps.
Just that I realized, and it's a dumb thought that, I've probably realized in the past, but that like bands write songs specifically to fit in with the vibe of the band. Did we talk about that?
Yeah. No.
Oh.
I don't think we did.
Yeah. But just that, like, in my head as a songwriter, I was always like, oh, well, it's just because it's a good song. This is how they were able to write the best song in their opinion. But it's like, you look at bands, like for me, the example was Phoenix, because Phoenix has a very, I don't know if you know them, but they have a very specific like guitar sound to them. Yeah. Like a guitar tone that they use all the time. And it only really dawned on me like last week at some point, being like, they do that on purpose. They use that guitar sound, not because it's the best guitar sound, but because it is the guitar sound for their band. And now it's in most of their songs, not all of them, but most of them. And like, that's done on purpose. I think realizing that also helps, that when it's like, oh, you can just, write a song and it's not going to be the best song in the world. It's not going to be the universal tool. It's just going to be like, maybe this fits in with what you're doing right now, or maybe this is just like something that's on brand, and like you can write whatever style of song you want. You're not stuck into a style, so you have to do whatever serves you at the time. Have you ever
considered using another stage name, like having Koala Kicker being your alter ego, where you
write
all songs
things.
I don't know why. Apparently, Koala Kicker is top of mind for me, but be like,
well, I have,
could be like, and no one knows who Koala Kicker is. And it's just you releasing hits on SoundCloud.
I have kind of thought about it. I mean, like my friend Ryan and I released an album under like a different moniker, under Everything That Falls. Yeah. And so that is like secretly me, but it's us, and it's very different. But I have thought about that. Yeah. Like doing, like just having a totally different persona.
And I guess also for us, a way to end writer's block and just go, this is a fictive person who grew up in wherever you want it. And then you just, like the tallest man on earth, does a lot of that weird ass, like he is a mythical creature.
Yes.
Once held a glacier to an open flame. What?
Yeah.
He has a lot of those wonderful, like, because he's a fictive character.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really impressed. That tickles my brain.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's also just so good.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, he's from Dalarna, Sweden, that's why.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's Swedish.
I did not know. Have you seen him sing? Like, have you seen videos of him singing?
Yes.
It looks like it hurts.
Yes. Yes.
He's so skilled, but I wish that I hadn't seen videos of him singing. He's just so strained. His neck is so strained.
Yeah, he's just
really pushes it, I guess.
Super jacked.
Maybe.
Where if he breathes, he just flexes all his muscles.
His guitar playing is aspirational. It's incredible. His finger picking is just
flamenco guitar.
That doesn't shock me at all.
He's from a classical background, and then he applied that to folk.
What a smarty pants.
And then he blew everyone else out of the water.
Yeah, he did. Good for him. Jeez. That makes a lot of sense. So unfortunately, we do have to wrap things up for the day.
Do you mean I need to wrap? Oh, no. Okay.
I mean, do you want to wrap us out? Oh, my God.
No, I think I'm good. Actually, being on front page has made me acutely aware of some of my strengths and some of my weaknesses.
Aw. I am very proud of you. I just want to put that out there.
Thank you.
I think you did a really, really fantastic job.
Boing flip.
Hey, you did it.
Hey. That's a Canadian thing again.
Yeah. Except,
R's and A. Like a vocal fry.
Yeah. I am Alanna W. Matty on Instagram. I'm Alanna Matty everywhere else on the internet.
I am Theodor Elfving everywhere on the internet. It's incredible. Except for Steam, where I have a very secretive name.
Yes, you do. I just really quick, I know we were ending, but like, would you ever perform under another moniker? Like, now that we're talking about names and handles? Like, would you... Do you already have one? We wouldn't even know.
No, we would. Exactly. That's why it's a hidden moniker. Oh, dum, dum, dum. Find out in episode 20 of Motivated Thoughts. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And thank you so much for chatting, Alanna, and for having me.
We could say that the other way around as well. Thank you for having me. Thank you for chatting with me. I genuinely look forward to this. Every time we do it. It's a shame we had to cut things a little short today because I have to take Clive to the vet.
We've only done this for 1.5 hours now. So
I know we didn't even make a comment about like, oh my god. I did have a thought at one point where I looked at the timer and it was at 40 minutes and I was like, but I didn't say it. I intentionally didn't say it.
I was looking at the clock and Windows going, okay, we still have time to wrap it up.
Yeah. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Also, we are going to start posting these regularly every other Friday.
Yes.
That is when it comes out. It's a little treat for your weekend. So you can hang out with us on the podcast for an hour or so.
An hour?
Always more. It's always more than an hour. I don't know why.
An hour plus.
Hour plus.
A little extra.
Yeah. All right. Make Street Elephants a horse thing.
Make Street Elephants a horse thing.
Bye.
Bye-bye.